There you go. What's up, Bello?
He's so needy.
Amazing. Okay. So thanks for taking the time to do this. I appreciate it. So I can ask you a bunch of questions, but first, even before I start asking you a bunch of questions, tell me how have things been with the program so far? Tell me about some of your results, like revelations, things that stood out. How's it been?
Honestly, I love it. And not just because it's you, but I like the fact that it's different every month. It keeps you entertained. That's a problem that I have personally. Like I get bored of things very quickly. So the fact that it changes monthly and it focuses on things that I've like spoken to you about, like my concerns, I love it for that reason. Like the exercises, I like the fact that me and you talk bi-weekly and we talk about, food and exercises and different ways I can do things. So so far I like it. I love it.
Uh, tell whoever is watching this, tell them kind of like your circumstance, who you are, what you do, kind of what your life is like, so they can get a handle on whether or not this it resonates with them as the person who's speaking. So go ahead.
So I got a lot going on.
Yeah, you do.
um um so I'm a mom of a 5-year-old. I work full time as a law clerk at Desjardins Insurance. I also have a small business on the side. Um, I have polycystic ovaries, which cause a lot of health issues. So, on top of all that, I mean, yeah, taking the time to for yourself and exercise is hard, but you have to like kind of like when I tell people all the time when they think about like getting a coach or a trainer or something like, yo, you have to be ready. Like you have to commit because it's something that you choose to do for you. And I've chosen to do this for me. And like, man, sometimes I'm so busy and I'm running around that I'm like, shit, like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to work out today. But you're like, no. Like I literally sit there, I'm like, no, like I'm gonna do my workout at 12 instead of 11, and then I'm gonna get it done 45 minutes to an hour, and then I can continue my stuff. It's okay if this is late, it's okay. Like I've come to realize that prioritizing yourself helps you in all the other aspects of your life, whether you're going through anything really, happiness, depression, sadness, like it kind of pushes you to deal with that a little easier, just because you're doing something for yourself. Like, even if you want a hamburger or, if you want a pizza or whatever, you're not like, oh, I'm going to work out tomorrow. I'm going to feel great anyways. It's okay. You know what I mean? So I do look forward to the workouts because of that. And even though everything else sometimes in your life may seem like it's going downhill, like if you choose to do something for yourself and set that's that time aside for you, then it'll help you a lot.
Sure. Why don't you tell whoever's watching sort of what your results have been while being on the program? Like, what have you seen change with yourself, with your body, with your lifestyle? What's been the biggest change for you since we've been working together?
Um, so I started losing weight before I signed up with you, and um, it was kind of just like fat loss. And um, when I signed up with you, I was 219 pounds. Now I'm 209, so there's a 10-pound difference there. But I feel like there was a lull of time where my weight didn't change, but my body was changing, and I've seen a lot of change in my legs. I have a butt now.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so and my arms too. Like my husband used to make fun of me and be like, "But what muscles do you have?" And I'm like, "Guys, I'm jacked now." So but I feel like the most that I see in myself, and like I feel especially with women, I feel like women have a lot of like body image issues, I feel, especially with society. So like I feel like this part, like my neck is slimmer and like my chest here is like you could see my bone, like my collarbone and stuff, and it looks so nice, like in a dress or like whatever it is. So, I've seen a lot of changes in my body, like a lot. Um, Clothes fit differently. I've lost 10 sizes, and it's I actually grabbed all my clothes from before and put them in a bin, and my cousin was helping me like clear out my closet, and I put the top on the bin. I got a green like tape and I labeled it fat clothes. She's like, "You did not just label it fat clothes." And I'm like, "I did." And I'm going to go downstairs when I feel like I've reached my goal, and I'm going to put one on and just show people, because you know what, a lot of things going on, but like I said, like you take time for yourself, and like there's a confidence boost um in every aspect of your life, like in your relationships, as a parent, in work relationships. I feel like I've excelled at work since going on this journey as well. Like I've gotten a promotion. You take the time for yourself to really show people like I'm worth it, like not just like everyone else, but I'm worth it too. And I know it's kind of sounds a little cliche because I've always heard people like online talk about it, but it really does change how you see yourself. Even if you're not really losing weight, but like, your body's changing, you kind of feel like damn, like I did that for me. You know what I mean? So it does change every aspect of your life in every meaning of the word, like parenting, career, relationships. It's been great.
I love that for you. Yeah, I mean, you put up the photo about you and, how things are different, and multiple people have commented, you know, her legs look amazing, right? So like there's all this feedback that you get too. And I think, when we look at photos, it's just a moment in time. But the thing that people don't see is, you know, the workouts you forced yourself to do because you knew, okay, I'm going to make sure that they get done because this is something that's important to me. And knowing that, okay, even if I don't get it completely done, fine, I'm going to get as much of it as I can done, doing something over nothing, right? You don't see in those photos how many days you've been tracking your food. You don't see in those photos how much water you've been drinking, how many steps you've been getting. So it doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. This is why I do these kinds of testimonials as well. So this way people can hear, hey, this is what I also felt and changed, and what else happened other than just these two static moments in my life, right?
My as you know, my me and my husband, like we've known each other since we were 16, and like I love him. Like I got very lucky in love. And he said something to me probably about midway through. I had lost about like 25, 30 pounds, and I was only at like 10-pound weights, and I had just switched from 5-pound weights to 10-pound weights. And I was doing presses, and he was like in the living room where I work out, and I was like, I can't do it. It's so hard. And he said to me, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I think when I reach a point in any workout, um, whether it's running or like something that we're doing together, and sometimes like I'll be like, okay, like it says to do like 8 to 10 reps. I'll get to 8 and I'll be like, shit, like I want to do those two more. And and my husband and I get that in my head again. Like my husband's like, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I'm like, I'm fucking doing it. Like it's hard on purpose. You know what I mean?
100%.
So so that's something that really resonated with me. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm happy to hear you have support at home too with him. And, if it wasn't changing you for the better or in a more positive way, you know, I'm sure that support wouldn't be there either. So it's also a circumstance of him recognizing, hey, my wife is doing something for herself that's positive for her and also positive for the family. So yes, push, continue, keep going, and that goes a long way too, for sure.
It
Um,
really does something for your mental health. And like, I mean, anything can happen at any time, and mental health dips often in the world we're living in. And like, if I look back to 2022 me to 2024 me, like just even, we'll just say it's not the only thing, but just say the confidence boost in itself, like the confidence boost really changes your mental health. You know what I mean? And then that's just like one aspect of it. And like it's changed my life a lot.
in what circumstances would you say to yourself, you notice you have more confidence, for example?
in my relationship with trying on clothes. I used to be a person to go into a store, see something I like, and be like, I'm not even going to try it on because I know it's not going to look good in certain areas because I knew my body. And like now I go to the, like, I never shopped at a mall before because I'd always shop online, plus size sections. And um now I'll go to the mall like to burn time with my kid, and I'll go into the store and take him to the change room, and I'm like, I'm trying on jeans. Um Last month, about a month ago, I bought my first pair of jeans in 10 years.
Let's go. Sick.
Yeah, ripped jeans. I got ripped jeans and I was like, shit, these look good on me. Now I got a butt and that fills it out. And like, you know, I could never wear jeans before because first of all, the sizes are meant for your waist. And um just the way, like, I've always had thinner legs. I mean, now they're a lot more jacked, but just the waist would be like, I would be 22 a waist, but it would be like I was wearing MC Hammer pants because just the way they make them for larger women is just, it's all big, you know? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a pair of skinny jeans. I got blue ripped jeans, ripped skinny jeans, and they fit amazing on me. And I'm a size 12 now,
What was your size prior last time you wore jeans? Do you remember?
22.
Let's go.
Big fucking win. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, cool. So I'm really happy you're sharing all this. This is a lot, and I feel like a lot of people are going to appreciate it just from, the perspective you're giving it from too, where it's like, yeah, mom, two jobs, running a household to, holding it down in a successful marriage as well. I think that's a lot of people's circumstance right now where it's like, I don't have time for me, and you're making time for you. And I don't think it's a matter of either. Like when we first spoke, I was like, Jess, this is how we're going to do it. But like, do you think that works? And you're like, yeah, I can do that. So it wasn't like, hey, Jess, you got to do this, and this is just the way it's got to be. It's like, hey, where can we meet you? And like, how do we get
well,
you from
that's,
where you are to further?
that's what I mean when I say like, when someone signs up for this type of coaching or like training or something, I say make sure, like, all my friends, I've told so many friends about you, and I was like, listen, man, like, you could go to Santo, he's great, but you have to be ready because for me, like, I feel like even when I started my weight loss journey, like, I feel like if I signed up with you in 2022, in the beginning of 2023, sorry, when I started, I wouldn't have been ready. It's like a mental thing. Like, you have to do something for you first and decide that it's going to be for you and not give up, you know? And I feel like that put a big change on it, and like now I feel confident to work with a coach and work with someone with new type of exercises because I feel like I'm doing stuff for myself and there's no backing out now, you know? I'm
For
too
sure.
far deep.
There's still more to go too.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I think, I think the coolest part about all, because like I see it from this side too, right? And like, yeah, you have it from your side, what your experience is like, but then there's also what I'm experiencing from the coaching side of what I'm seeing for you. And what I've seen for you more than anything, which I think is really cool, is that you don't really give a fuck about what that scale says. You're like, yo, I care about how I look and how I feel. And this is what's fucking awesome. And it just so happens that that scale's going down too. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I feel like that has changed a lot too while working with you because I was obsessed with the scale. When we started, I would get anxiety, and first couple weeks I'm like, "Yo, Santo, the scale went up," you know. But um, I've talked to a lot of people about it too. Like when you're doing weight training and stuff like that, like it's weird because like my weight would is staying the same, but my stomach is going down, my arms are getting bigger, my legs are getting jacked. You know what I mean? So like it's kind of filling you out purposely, right? So now I'm kind of on the tip of like, I don't care what the scale says. I wanna, and it's been like that, I feel like for the last like 4 to 6 weeks. Like I feel like I don't care. The only reason I'm getting on a scale is for my doctor, to be honest, because I really don't care. I like the way clothes look on me. And like, yeah, if my stomach goes down some more, I'm happy. I'm doing my exercises and I'm happy doing those. So I really don't care what the scale says. I just want to be happy and happy with my exercise and happy with myself.
Awesome to hear. I'm really happy to hear that, Just. If you were to tell two things to somebody who wants to find a coach like myself, but is kind of hesitant to pulling the trigger, what would you say to them?
I would say find the right one. Make sure you talk to them and they understand where you're coming from. And I feel like that's very, very important. And a lot of people, like I feel like me and you click so well. And as a woman, a lot of women would rather go to women, right? But sometimes the opposite sex understands better. So I feel like that's a number one. Like make sure you pick the right coach and you pick someone that is good for you. Maybe talk to a couple if you want that one. And then I would say make sure you're ready. Like make sure you put yourself first and make sure you're ready to make the commitment.
I like those. I like both of those. I think it's interesting because my coach is female. My coach is a woman, and
Really?
yeah, and she's a boss. Like her name's Carmen, and she's a rock star. I'm so happy with her and who she is and how she's coached me, and I'm really content with it too. And her and I also had this conversation where you have to come to the coaching or to the experience with the space to make the change. Because if you don't come to it with the space to make the change, then it doesn't matter how good the program is, how good the coach is. If you're not ready, willing, and able to do it, then it doesn't matter. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying both of those things. Those are very true. And I think, yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with that too.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, Santo, my husband's here. He told me to get him show.
it's all good. It's all good. Cool.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Say Mike sent.
Does he? Hmm. Ooh.
Ooh.
Anyways,
Play video games.
we're doing. He doesn't have time for video games, Christian.
Everyone has fucking time.
You just gotta take the time, buddy. It's all it goes.
He has a PC.
Nice.
Santo, anything else you want to ask me to record? Because I gotta go pick up a car.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts, parting words, anything you want to just put into the ether or say on my YouTube channel? This is going to my YouTube channel. What would you want to say to people that, again, same thing, anything that you haven't said or want to get off your chest or how you feel about things?
No, I feel like I covered it, just make sure you're ready for it. Have make the dedication to yourself and definitely have a support team. I feel like you need support from your family and friends. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a good
Cool.
coach and like use your words, talk.
Communication, absolutely.
Yeah.
Stay on the call for 2 minutes because I gotta ask you something about your program. But thank you for
Okay.
taking the time to record this, okay?
No problem.